This one is particularly funny to me because George R.R. Martin has been one of those anti-AI proponents out there like none other. He's actually suing OpenAI and ChatGPT for, quote, stealing his work. That's obviously not going to work. There's been a lot of case precedent already that what AI does with the LLMs is transformative. And so that's been already established pretty much, but it is still in court, this version of it. And we're going to see a lot more court cases like this. But the ironic part about this now is he just put out a 20th anniversary high-end premium edition of A Feast for Crows with a bunch of art and etc. And it looks like it used a bunch of AI art, and he's getting savaged online about it. Oh my gosh. Let's get into the real fantasy news. Thank you guys for being here. My name's John Delarose. I am a science fiction and fantasy writer myself. And this right here is not AI. It's beautiful art that's done by Manuel Lolo Guzman. He did all 3 beautiful paintings for my book, which I did in advance. I did 3 of them. And I did a full trilogy in advance, just like being like, I want to really give the readers the best experience and let you connect with all the characters and like let you really finish the arc. Something, George R.R. Martin hasn't done. But this is my new sci-fi book, and it is about exploring the universe. Each time they go out, they encounter a new science fiction concept at a different planet, and it starts in the Soul Catcher, then goes into the Safe Place, and then Time Bomb, my time travel story. So I do a lot of cool sci-fi stuff with this. You're really, really going to love this, and I appreciate you guys for supporting independent works. This is right here, yes, even though it was very expensive art to get him on here, it was worth doing because I just love seeing this on my book covers. So thank you so much. It's in the description below, and check it out. Support our art here, guys, and support what we're doing. All right, George R.R. Martin again, currently suing AI companies for using his books without permission. The irony makes the latest controversy surrounding his work particularly bitter. The newly released illustrated edition of A Feast for Crows appears to be filled with AI-generated artwork. This Drowsy Tunes thread went viral just the other day. Drowsy Tunes, and we could pull this out. And as you can see, he's got it right here. Hey, so my illustrated edition of A Feast for Crows just came in, and like, are these not all AI? Effing look at them. Did I get scammed? Did George sanction this, as you could see? And you could just take a look at the art, and there's just some tells and some problems with it, which we'll get into as you go through here. Lots of uses of these like generic bluish colors that don't quite work right. The building perspectives don't quite look right here. You can see that they're not really like... they're not really Targaryen themed here, even though it's a Targaryen picture with the blue colors and the like, not looking so good. So he continued along Exhibit B through here, as you can see more of these, which we'll again get into. He says, am I psychotic? What the F is happening? Whose blonde baby was that? A good question. He says, I want to make it abundantly clear, I don't blame George for this slip up. It's likely entirely on HarperCollins, the publisher, for cutting corners to avoid having to compensate human artists. George is like 99. I'm sure he doesn't know. And he said, this got out of hand. Some karma farming bot already reposted my pictures to Reddit, pretending they took them. Same story and everything. So, yes, this, like I said, it's gone super mega viral, as you can see. And this got onto Fantasy News with Daniel Green as well. He was talking about this yesterday. So he broke it down. He broke it down in detail, comparing the new Feast for Crows illustrations to previous entries in Penguin Random House's illustrated Song of Ice and Fire series. The contrast is stark. Earlier editions featured work from top fantasy artists like Magali Villeneuve, with detailed handcrafted illustrations from clear line work, proper anatomy, and internal composition. The Game of Thrones illustrated edition showcased a magnificent Iron Throne with intricate details, proper perspective, and guards that made visual sense. Feast for Crows, well, this is what he says. Holy smokes, there are some real big indicators that we have been given a huge heaping slop fest of AI. The telltale signs are everywhere. Illustration shows a one-eyed warrior rallying the crowd, but his gauntlet looks wrong. His arm doesn't connect properly to his body, and the character has hair in a scene where he shouldn't. Now, what's interesting is, like, you can edit this stuff in Photoshop. That's kind of odd that it wasn't done. Details in the scene AI would likely get wrong, but an artist given a task carefully crafted brief wouldn't, he said. Another image features what appears to be a Christian crucifix on the wall, despite what looks like Jesus half rendered on it. In a fantasy world with its own religion, the Faith of the Seven, there's a glaring error that no human artist familiar with the source material would make. And that's pretty interesting. Does that look like a crucifix on the wall to anybody, or is it just me and a bunch of people online pointing it out? It actually does look like it has Jesus on it too, Daniel Green said. Now, the problems can be found across every illustration: gratuitous overuse of blue coloring, demonic stretch mouth faces and background characters, random straps and buttons on clothing that serve no purpose, chaotic lighting, shadows that don't match any consistent light source, stained glass windows in the throne room that look like generic cathedral windows rather than the Faith of the Seven iconography established in the books and HBO series. There's no sigil of specific ice and fire markers of any kind in any of these images. Most of these scenes I have no idea what they are. So the Drowsy Tunes thread laid out the evidence, as we saw right there. Heavy use of blue on the characters. Cersei, Jaime, Marjorie, and Tommen all drowning blue tones. Complete absence of the House Lannister lions, banners, heraldry that should dominate the scenes at King's Landing. Victorian Greyjoy, bizarrely wielding two swords when he carries an axe and shields in the books. And most damning, the image of Lady Stoneheart looks suspiciously similar to existing fan art, and one illustration of Samwell Tarly punching Darien includes that Christian cross in the background, as we mentioned before. So Reddit users piled on with this, as mentioned in his thread. The Iron Throne in one image resembles the HBO show's version rather than Martin's book description. As one Redditor summarized, it's not looking awesome. Penguin Random House credited the interior illustrations to Jeffrey McDonald. And a search of Jeffrey McDonald's previous work shows a style that doesn't match these illustrations whatsoever. This raises uncomfortable questions about what happened during production. Green speculated on possibilities. Whether or not this is a decision the artist made or something the publisher did, it remains to be seen. We don't know yet. This is something that's happening in a lot of the world these days. Potentially, they tried to pay Jeffrey less and then do some kind of AI filler over base sketches. Who knows? The CEO of Penguin has previously balked at the idea that AI would eliminate jobs for artists, which is ironic. So this is what he said before, and Green said this. It does look like AI art. I will, without shame, if it comes out that this is not AI art, come here on my channel and apologize by name to the artists. But you've seen the red flags for AI too, right? And of course, a lot of people have so far. We can go back to the thread and see what people are saying in the quote tweets here, and just see what people are saying about the AI art here. Some of the illustrations of this are so bad, but funny considering JRRM is suing OpenAI. Oh, this one's particularly bad. This is really awful. Oh my gosh. The scams of winter. That's pretty good right there. It appears Random House used AI images for $50 list price. A Feast for Crows Illustrated Edition, which is part of a Game of Thrones Song of Ice and Fire series. Somebody pointed out the real Song of Ice and Fire art loves to spam house signals everywhere, and so I don't see a single stag, rose, or lion anywhere in this. And then how disappointing the official books of GRRM are using AI slop. There's so many great, talented artists. Why not hire them? I'm not a pro, and I literally would have made these image illustrations on my beat-up phone with just my fingers. There's no excuse for using AI art. It continues on. Not even writer's block and copyright outrage are a match for money grubbing. How many times must people be told GRRM has devolved into a measly monetizer? 2 decades it's been going on, and no amount of window dressing can disguise these cankles anymore. Yeah, well, he's not even working on finishing the book. And it's really interesting. You're seeing all these Game of Thrones like TV projects start and stop at this point. That it's like, what's happening here? Is he just cashing out in his old age and just doing this? It seems like it. So deluxe books is an important thing. And I actually operate in this space, and I actually just want to show one off real quick. I just got this in, and it is amazing. And it is... this is my Ayla Rin, Agent of the Terran Imperium Volume 1 graphic novel. And you can see we did a full leather-bound pressed book of this, which is amazing. And you can see, like, even on the edges, we did some, like, cool coloration. It's just gorgeous. I've never seen a comic in this high quality before. And this is the level of, like, Easton Press. I collect Easton Press leather-bound books. As you can see, this is The Healer War by Elizabeth Ann Scarborough, and we've got the same quality here. Very important. These are handmade. and so when we sell them as a deluxe book, that's what you're expecting, is something really nice and really premium. And so when you're selling something like this at $50 a pop, just throwing in some like quick AI stuff, not very nice for somebody like George R.R. Martin to do, or Penguin Random House in this instance. So it's interesting. If suddenly it starts getting talked about how frequently there's going to be AI slop shoved into special editions as AI art gets better and harder to spot, Well, way to break trust with the consumer. This niche area does help generate a lot of revenue for artists and creatives who like to bind and decorate those books who could just go kaput. Very sad to watch, but yes, I mean, I'm sure this is happening across mainstream publishing. It only makes sense. It's very, very hard. I mean, an independent like me, it's difficult enough to generate enough here, but when you're getting something that's selling on this kind of level, it's just really, really tacky to do, because they just are really trying to extract as much profit as possible, and that's all that could possibly be done here. What do you think about this? Leave a comment down below. Love to hear from you. Hit the like and subscribe button. Do check out my beautiful books, guys. This is going to be Valiant Frontiers. And like I said, I had this wonderful artist draw all these by hand, and he did a wonderful job, and I appreciate it, just so I can get that like classic old school feel, because I like the way books used to look and the books used to feel, and I miss sci-fi the way that it was before, all this like kind of grimdark took over. Check it out. It's in the description below, and I really appreciate everybody who supports. We'll be back soon.